Thank you all for being here. I'm Monty with Chillville. This is the very first Chillville X session, so thank you all for being here and the pleasure of spending it with Bob Moses here, Tom, Jimmy. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Thanks
man.
for having us, man.
And you guys have been on the road for a little bit now, huh?
A month now.
With Mansionaire.
Yep.
They're
I've been
awesome.
looking forward to this because I got to talk to the guys at Mansionaire a few months ago. They're great guys, and this show is just bit for Chillville, you know.
Yeah, it's like they're super awesome guys, and we're all getting along really well. It's our tour manager makes fun of us because thinks we have a really nice bromance going on, which we kind of do.
So what are some of the crazy stories on the road?
I mean, we've been so busy, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like literally we load in, we might play a thing like this, then we do the show, then like, you know, sometimes we hang out with them after and have a drink or something. But like, it's just been like get in, get out, next show. We've been playing like 6 days in a row.
All right.
Yeah.
And I noticed your live shows now have gone from just y'all two to now 4-piece. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've had a drummer for a couple years, and this tour we added a bass player, Julio. He's a scholar and a gentleman.
Yeah.
No, he's awesome. He's super funny. He's really good friends with our drummer, and so it's kind of like he's always been in the band. It's kind of weird. It was a really nice fit, and we just wanted to like this record. We felt like was a bit more dynamic, and we wanted to sort of step it up somehow. And I think like he's a really talented musician and a great bass player, so his touch really adds a lot to the show.
All right. So now I'm going to talk about the record here in a second, but great record, by the way.
Thank you.
How do you know when to or how you're going to bring out the recorded versions of your songs to live on the stage? I mean, because I know there's a lot of programming and arrangements. How do you got to decide how you're going to do that?
Yeah, we actually call that the science project of the whole thing. It's like a
Yeah, that's a whole, like you make the record and then that's a whole other part of it.
Yeah, it's like when we're making the record, we don't think how are we going to do this live. We just go like let's make the best record possible, and then we'll figure it out later. Mm-hmm. And then that's why we ultimately added a bass player. It's like you said, you got 4 dudes. What can we all do? And then you just start like breaking out pieces of the record. And the thing that we ultimately keep like sort of as tracks is like the ambient stuff, like that, like a person like it helps with the dynamics so much, like these sweeps and swells that are so sort of essential to our music. Other than that, basically everything else the 4 of us are playing, you know?
So for everybody who doesn't know, can you tell them how you guys got together? Because you're from Vancouver. Y'all went to the same high school for a while, right?
We went to the same high school. We were not in the same band for whatever reason. We were friendly. We weren't best buds, but we had some classes together, and we were kind of like, Jimmy was the other guy who was actually going to do music. You know, it was kind of like we had this mutual respect as like the music guys in high school. And then we both went our separate ways after high school, and we ran into each other in New York. We both moved to New York just on our own accord. And yeah, we met up there, and we were kind of both a bit stuck creatively, a bit
Ran into each
bored.
other in a parking lot.
Yeah.
That's a crazy thing.
Wow.
We had studios across the parking lot from each other in the same neighborhood for like several months before, and we had no idea. And then we just kind of, you know, we were like, hey, man, we had dinner, you know, caught up, and then had a studio session, and just for fun. And it was like immediately like, you know, really great creative chemistry. And we were kind of like, I don't know what this is, but let's do this, whatever it is.
Sounds like it was meant to be the whole time. I mean, because you guys were right across, didn't even know it, went to the same high school, everything. That's pretty cool.
It's crazy.
So then 2015, you had the first album come out, Days Gone By. You played Tearing Me Up just a little while ago. It was the big song from it. You got 2 Grammy nominations, 1 Grammy win. Tell me how excited y'all were about that.
I mean, to be honest, we didn't even know that we'd submitted. Like,
Yeah, I was in Australia, and like because of the time difference, I woke up and my bedroom that I was sleeping in that evening was in my friend's loft, so there was like no service. So I came downstairs. I'm getting ready to go, and like literally all of a sudden I went from having no texts to like 150 texts, and like Jim was like, and so I was like,
Wake up!
I thought him and our manager were like having a go at me, like I thought they were like trying to prank me or something, but yeah. So then we found that out, and like Jimmy said, we didn't even really know we had submitted or anything because the label did that for us, and then.
I think that sort of sums up our whole career. People don't tell us stuff because they're like, we don't want to disappoint the guys, man. Like, it's just not going to happen. And then, like, you know, we get these phone calls. It's like, what? This is happening? And, like, just no one tells us. 'Cause, you don't want to be like, hey, you might be doing this, and then it's like, oh, so just
Yeah.
it's great though.
Right.
Yeah, and we got to the best part from our perspective. I mean, it's an honor to get nominated and an honor to have the remix win. But we got to go to the show, which was pretty sweet.
That's
We
awesome.
got to
It's an amazing production. Like I'm sure you've been to shows in arenas before, but the amount of stage changes that they have to do when you're actually there, and like it's like if you went and saw one band and you saw one set, you'd be like, that's one of the best looking backdrops I've ever seen. They do it like 9 times. It's crazy.
The ironic thing was Mansionaire got a nomination with Odessa's song
Yeah.
the same year, Line of Sight. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, do y'all have it?
No.
No. You only get one trophy,
Okay.
and because the remix won, I think RAC got the
RAC gets it.
remix,
Okay.
got the trophy, and we got fancy little medals. We could have got the trophies, but we figured.
It's like they make you go to like the gift shop and be like, buy your
Yeah.
own Grammy. It's like you won, see in the gift shop on the way out.
Yeah. So we were like, let's wait till we get our own trophies.
All right. So the RAC remix was the one that won, and you guys have had remixes by so many different people. A-Track, Yours Born, and then Hayden James for the new ones. How do you feel about the remixes and when they come out?
We're the remix package for this record. We really got ahead of it. I think last time the remixes were great, but it kind of happened a bit more because that record kind of grew a bit more organically, and then so the remixes were a slower thing. But this one we've been really pleased with the packages, and like we got really great people, and there's a few more that are coming on different songs and stuff, and yeah, like the remixes are all really really good, and we've really enjoyed the process of like
Yeah.
because like all the people that have done remixes we're fans of, so and we think that they've done a really great job. Like we play the Hayden James one and the Yours Form one sometimes if we do like DJ sets or whatever, so it's just nice to have. It's a really cool thing to have like an artist you respect do a really cool version of your song that puts it in a new light that you actually would include in your creative, like
Yeah.
being in a DJ set or something like that. So
I
it's
think
really
a
cool.
lot of times like major labels do this thing where they like just have an artist and they go, we're just gonna get a whole bunch of cool people to remix it, and the artist doesn't have any connection to that. And then sometimes those remixes get huge. Or I think like the Lana Del Rey one was a good example. Like that blew up that song, but
Right.
I've heard that she doesn't like that remix. I don't know if that's true, but like it's nice that we come from the scene where like that's a thing. So and you kind of like it's like sort of paying respects to people. It's a cool thing.
Absolutely. Have y'all done any remixes for others?
No, we've been asked.
No, we've never. We've done a cover.
Yeah.
But
That's
we've
the-
never.
Is that the Duran Duran one?
No, well, that we did that, but we also did like an actual recorded. We have a track called "I Ain't Gonna Be the First to Cry," which
Okay.
we put out as a single, and it's a cover of an old Bobby Bland song, like an old blues song.
Okay.
And we've never done remixes.
No, it's never been like someone's name track Bob Moses remix. We've never done that.
Yeah, we've frankly probably not really had time, but also we wanted to when we were coming up, we really want to, because we were coming up in like the underground electronic scene, we really want to sort of keep that card as like and put ourselves forward as more of a band.
Absolutely.
And so that was sort of why we stayed away from it at the beginning, and now since the last record we've just been so busy on other stuff that we haven't really had time.
So, okay, I have 11 quick questions for you guys.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
Pretty easy. Just tell me the first thing that comes into your head. You ready? Okay, number 1, Vancouver or New York?
Ooh, now New York. Now New York, 10 years Vancouver maybe.
I'm just gonna let that stand.
Yeah.
So if he gets in trouble from anyone, it wasn't me that said it.
Yeah.
Festivals or intimate venues?
Oh man, these are
Man.
hard, dude. Come on.
Break
How
my
about
heart.
this? I'll say festivals, you say intimate venues, and then it's like we get to share.
No, we can't be diplomatic. That's like too diplomatic, man. I'm gonna say intimate venues.
Because the first time I met you guys was about 3 years ago at ACL Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say festivals. I mean, I don't know. I can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
But festivals are the thing that I like about festivals is that the crowds, like there's a bit usually like there's this air of celebration and everybody's there to like have a great time, and it's usually like a thing they've looked forward to, and there's all the other collaborations of like the people who have like worked on the decorations, and like there's just a lot sort of creativity that goes into a festival, which I really love. Like I love one of my favorite things about playing festivals is actually being able to like go around the site and like check everything out and like meet other bands that like go see a band you're a fan of and stuff like that, which I love playing intimate venues as well, but that the playing festivals has all those sort of like extra little bits, which is cool.
Good answer, man.
Not quick, that's for sure.
Vinyl or MP3?
Vinyl.
Vinyl.
All right. Who are you both listening to right now?
Ooh. I mean, all those bands we just mentioned, but I mean, we really like. There's this guy out of New York. His name's Nicholas Jarre, and he has a side project called Against All Logic.
Okay.
And it's like a really cool. It's kind of like old school funk music mixed with like depressing electronic music, and you know, it's
like re-edits.
It's great.
I've been listening. I just watched that Quincy documentary, Quincy Jones on Netflix. Highly recommend. So I've been listening to like all his old back catalog, like all his first jazz stuff, which is super. I don't know how I'm ever going to work that into our music, but it's just inspiring. So,
cool. Hockey or football?
Hockey.
Mike Snow or Marion Hill?
Mike Snow.
Oof, yeah, I guess Mike Snow.
Mike Snow.
There's a little inside joke there.
Okay.
Guilty pleasure movie?
Spice World.
Um,
I've definitely seen it 3 times.
Guilty pleasure TV?
Sex in the City. I got some bad ones, man.
got some bad ones. I forgot about that one. Actually.
Yeah.
When
That's
I first
a great show. That's a great show.
When I first moved into his place, like when we first started working together, I saw like all the Sex and the City DVDs.
There's
and
a story there. There's just I got pneumonia.
I was in
in bed for a week, and my mom sent me those DVDs, and I was like, I don't know about this. And then I was like, I called her. I was like, can you believe what Miranda said? And that was.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, are these yours? And he was like, man, it's a really good show. I'll go to bat for Sex and the City.
Yeah, I'll go to bat for that.
All right, I love watching Saved by the Bell and old 90210s. Those are great. Favorite food to eat when you're on the road?
Barbecue's a staple for us.
Barbecue.
We always make treks for barbecue. And now that we're in Texas, like it's gonna get real.
I think my favorite stop, food-wise, on the tour is always New Orleans, and we were just there.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Because it's just like they have like such a weird menu, and it's like it's like the flavors of barbecue mixed with like seafood and like the whole. It's just
French thing.
It's so good.
Like, oh, yeah.
I literally I said we went to this really great restaurant, and I was like, if you were gonna make a menu for me perfectly, of anything, it would probably be based around New Orleans.
What was the name of the restaurant?
It was called Cochon, I think.
Yeah, Cochon.
Cool.
It was really good.
Okay, Drake or Kanye?
Kanye.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Kanye.
Even though he's insane,
Yeah.
Kanye.
Okay, final question. Thoughts on legalized pot in Canada?
It's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
I think it's there's a lot of money that could be put to good use there, and not buying, criminal stuff. So I think like a lot of Vancouver
Stuff is real good, and it does it better.
yeah. Vancouver, like there's always been a fair amount of violence in Vancouver around sort of gangs and drugs. Like I remember one of the first times I went home for Christmas after moving away, and like I was driving to my dad's house, and the whole street was blocked off, and like he had woken up, and like he lives in like a middle class, nice, safe neighborhood, and there had been like a drive-by shooting at the restaurant up the street, and like with like AK-47s and stuff.
Right? Like if
and
you
so
could control like a little bit, like there's so much money in weed. So now if it's like it's British Columbia. It's our province's biggest export.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a huge, or it was. I don't know about now, but like
At least that's what they say.
yeah, that's what they say.
Unofficial export.
And,
So now it can be official.
but like if you can tax it, start putting it towards like education, healthcare, all those sort of things. I can't it's harmless. It's like alcohol. I mean, I can't smoke it because I get super paranoid and it's not for me. But like if it can help improve the city that you live in or whatever, I think it's a great thing, man.
I think that like it makes the only negative side there could be is if there's some like social, change or cultural change in people's viewpoints, and then it makes everybody sort of, less like it's they call it a gateway drug or whatever. But I just really can't see that happening because like alcohol is way more harmful than weed and it's legal and like it's, you know what I mean? So
All
it's
right,
like,
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it's a good thing.
Yeah, cool. Guys, thanks a lot for being here with me. I'm glad to see you guys come in town, and I hope y'all come back again to visit us here.
We
in
will.
Austin.
Thanks for having us, man.
Tom and Jimmy, Bob Moses.
Thank you.